Yo, it's almost February, so y'all know what that means.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
Oh, actually, that's not what I was talking about. Like, of course that's happening, but that's not what I was talking about. I'm talking about Valentine's Day. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be doing a series that's all about dating. Because here's the thing, when I was in school, when I was in church, I don't feel like I really got much actual practical dating advice. And there were things that I wish I knew before I even started dating. So whether you feel like you got years before you start dating, or whether you're starting to date now, I'm gonna give you guys some tips throughout this series to be able to help you guys in what you guys are supposed to do. Now, today, I'm going to be talking about what you need to do even before you start dating. Because truthfully, everyone wants to talk about what you do when you date. But there is a whole lot of things that can be able to set you up for failure or set you up for success before you even start dating. So here are the things that you need to pay attention to. First thing is this, you need to define your purpose. Why are you dating? Are you just dating because everyone else is dating? Are you just dating because sometimes you want people to watch movies with? Or are you dating because you think that this could possibly turn into something? Now, I know this is going to be something that a lot of people disagree with, because a lot of people say, well, can't Christians just have fun and date? Can't Christians just do what they want and date? Why do they have to have a purpose? Here's the thing, if you do not have a purpose or a plan on to where you're going, I don't think the relationship is gonna go much of anywhere, because I think that you're gonna be stuck in this whole limbo of like, yo, what do I do here? And then you're just gonna start progressing and start doing more physical things until you get to a place that you don't really wanna be. So I think that if you're a Christian, I think that you need to be able to have a place that you want to go. Is this just that I just am lonely, or is it that I actually think that I'm in a place to date? Second thing is, you have to know whether you're in a place to date. So the first one is, why are you dating? But then the second one is kind of related to it because, hey, like some of us aren't in a place to date. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, if you know that you're gonna be traveling across the world for the next like few years or something like that, maybe dating isn't really the choice for you right now. Because most people, whether they're a guy or a girl, aren't really gonna do well with this whole long distance thing. So if you know that you're gonna be in Dallas one week, and then you're gonna be in California the next week, whatever. Like, if you know that you're gonna be in different places like every single week, then maybe you shouldn't really start dating yet, because you're not really settled down enough to do that. The other thing is this, honestly, if you have an unhealthy view of what dating looks like, then that probably is not the time yet for you to start dating. So personally, I'm a believer that if you know that you are strongly dealing with porn, and that is something that you are dealing with, you should probably take a little step back, because honestly, and I will tell you from experience, porn gives you a bad idea of what relationships actually look like. And if God wants you to be in a relationship, God wants you to be in a relationship that's gonna bring him glory and that's gonna bring him honor. And if that's really not the thing that's on your mind, and you're thinking about all of these other things, and even if you say that you're going in with the right intentions, you can end up going off into a path that you don't wanna go to. Trust me, I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Third thing is this, make your list of non-negotiables, because there are gonna be non-negotiables for everybody. And please don't make them super vain. Like, I mean, granted, everyone has like their things that they prefer. Like, girls be like, yo, I want a dude that's taller than me. Guys will be like, yo, I want a girl that has a body like this or whatever. And I'm not saying that those are terrible things on the surface. Like, everybody has their preferences. But I'm saying that those are things that really aren't gonna matter in the end of days. Like, at the end of the day, whether you can wear high heels or not to everything is really not gonna matter. At the end of the day, if this girl is shorter than what you usually date, or like she's a little bit skinnier than you used to dating, whatever, like that's not really going to make a big impact on the whole goal of what you're supposed to do in life. Make a list of things that are non-negotiables for you. Like, hey, if like you're just like, hey, I don't really like people that drink, even if like y'all are both Christian or whatever, and you just say, hey, I don't like people that drink or whatever, then that needs to be your non-negotiable. If that is your non-negotiable, put that down, because you are gonna have to be with this person on a regular basis. And if you feel like you've got to hide things from your family and all those things like that, then that's probably not the best thing. Even though I said it shouldn't all be aimed towards physical things like how tall somebody is, how attractive somebody is, or whatever, because those things are fleeting. Now, some of these things might be things that are important to you. And that doesn't mean that it's exactly bad. I'm just saying don't make that the main thing. However, if you have these goals and these things that people need to have, you need to live up to it yourself. So I see dudes and I see girls that be like, yo, I want a guy that, there'll be girls that be like, I want a guy that's fit. And there'll be guys that be like, yo, I want a girl that's fit. And then you look at them and it's like, when is the last time you've been to a gym?
Oh, why you hit so hard?
You can't sit there and expect these things for somebody else and then you not have them yourself. And I think that's like that even with all of the different non-negotiables that you have. I know dudes that are just like, yo, you know, I want a girl that's a virgin. And then it's like, yo, but like you've had sex with like multiple women. Like you can't sit there and tell this girl that she needs to be a virgin, but you're not. You can't expect the girl to be in church when you're not. You can't expect the guy to be in church when you're not. And so whatever you make your non-negotiables, just make sure that you actually fit with those non-negotiables. The last thing is this, and this is kind of all related to what I've already said and kind of adds on to this, is that personally, I don't believe that you should start dating until you feel like you're in a place where you could get married. So this is where a lot of my high school students, where they get mad because they're just like, but I just really want to date right now. You just don't understand. I really want to be with this girl. She's really cool and I just really enjoy her and blah, blah, blah. I get that. I get that you enjoy being with her. I get that you enjoy being around her. I get that you enjoy doing this and that with her. But here's the honest truth. I personally believe, and what I've just seen throughout my life and throughout other people's lives, is that when you awaken love too fast, you create a problem. Now, okay, I don't want you guys to think that because if you guys know what I'm referencing Song of Solomon. And when they're talking about awakening love, they're talking about like more about like having sex and opening things like that. But I want you guys to know that that also applies to just love in general. Like there are so many people that I knew and so many people that I'm connected to who started just throwing themselves out there and thinking that this is where they're gonna put all of their eggs in, and it's like, yo, I'm gonna marry this guy, he's gonna be the one for me, or I'm gonna marry this girl, she's gonna be the one for me. And then when it doesn't work out and when things go in different directions, they start to get depressed because they put all of their hope and all of their attention into that. Be in a place where you could say, okay, in like the next year or something, I could possibly get married to this woman, or I could possibly get married to this man. Because to me, it's just pointless. Like I knew a lot of people that dated in high school, they seemed like they were super great. And then both of them went off to college in different places. Or one of them went into the workforce, one of them went into college or whatever. Like there are different things that happen in your life after high school. So that's why I don't really recommend that most people date in high school. Maybe senior year, because maybe you could possibly work it out and it could work together. But it's very unlikely that if you're dating in middle school or high school that you're gonna actually turn out and be married to each other later on. Now, don't be coming at me because I know someone's gonna be like, well, my dad and my mom are high school sweethearts and they're still together to this day. I mean, I get that. I get that that happens. I get that there are people and there are outliers. But just saying that there are outliers doesn't mean that that's the rule. Like, just because there are people that that works out for doesn't mean that that works out for most people. And so that's what I'm trying to say. And I understand that all of these things that I just told you, you're not gonna like. But these are things that we have to get a better grasp on and get a better understanding of before we even get into dating. So the next video that I do on this topic, I'm going to be talking about like, yo, what do you do once you feel like you're trying to look for someone and all those types of things. But I wanted to talk about that first because I think it's very important to understand that not everyone is ready to date. Not everyone needs to start opening up that world yet because they're just not ready for it. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It doesn't mean that God doesn't have a purpose and a plan for your life or whatever. It just means that it's not ready for you yet. I want you guys to know this. Your worth and your value is not found in who you date. Your worth and value is not found in your relationship status. Your worth and value is found in Jesus and Jesus alone. So before we go on through this series, before you see, and it's so easy when we see all these posts on Facebook and Instagram and all that type of stuff, when we see people that are in happy relationships, it's easy for us to feel like we're less than. But God doesn't look at you as less than because of the things that you are dealing with right now. Because the things that you're dealing with, your relationship status is temporary, but your place in heaven is eternal. And so I want you guys to understand that yes, what you're going through right now is a very weird and awkward moment where you're seeing all these people that are happy, you're seeing all these people that are in relationships, but don't sit there and compare yourself to those people. God has something planned for you. God has something that's better for you. And if He's put this desire in your heart to get married, even if it's not the time right now to do it, it doesn't mean that it's not going to be the time later. God is preparing somebody for you that is going to be the perfect fit for you. I believe that because I've been through that. And so that's what I wanted to tell you guys before we go on throughout this whole series. I want to talk first. Like, yo, are you ready to date? And so that's what we talked about today. And so I hope that you guys actually take those things to heart, and I hope that you use those things to help you and guide you throughout this process. All right? And let me know what your list is. Let me know what your non-negotiables are in the comments below. I would love to be able to see that. And you guys, honestly, if you guys have any questions, or you guys like, yo, should this be non-negotiable, or is this something that you're going to talk about in this series? Hey, just send me an email. I'm going to put my email in the description below. I'm also going to put it right here. Right here, about right here. And so if you guys want to be able to ask questions and all that type of stuff, you guys can do that. All right, well, I love you guys, and I'm hoping that God can be able to use you to be able to, make a difference in the world. So that's what I want to see, and bye.